Hi guys, I'm Elle, and today I'm going to be talking to you about breakups. So I have recently been through a breakup, so a lot of this is kind of based on what I wish I'd known and what I wish I'd had someone there to tell me. I had a lot of support around me, so I did have a lot of people telling me a lot of things, but I think obviously these very specific things might have been more comforting if I'd known precisely that they were gonna happen or that it was all true, which you can't know at the time, but just take a little bit of comfort maybe from the fact that this very recently has happened to me and all of these things are true. At least in my case. Breakups are very different for everyone, relationships are very different for everyone, so not everything will fit with your situation. So just take what resonates, take what you understand and what comforts you, and leave the other stuff. So the main message, which is not one of my kind of main talking points, but the main thing that I want to get across during this video is that things will get better. A breakup does not define you, another person does not define you, you define yourself and you heal yourself and you understand yourself. So as much as things can really feel like the end of the world and things can feel like they're crumbling when you break up with someone, it is not the end of the world and things are not crumbling. You get a little bit off balance and a lot of things kind of get spun, you know, out of center, out of orbit. I don't know. They out of control. Things get a little bit out of control and it feels a bit crazy. But you can put in the work and you can take the time to heal and feel better. So you have to also let things take their course. You have to let things play out the way they're wanting to play out. If you've been broken up with and the other person doesn't want to salvage it, or like if there's a mutual issue and the other person doesn't want to salvage it, unfortunately, you have to listen. A relationship is a two-way street. It's the same way as a breakup. So if you both think you can do it, but then you're putting things into action and things aren't getting better, then that's also maybe kind of something you should look at. Just because you both want things to work doesn't mean you can force things. Don't force things during a breakup because you don't want to end up in a mutually resentful situation where you're both forcing it just for the sake of, maybe how much time you've spent together or how much love you have for each other. You can love someone a lot and still break up with them. So if things just aren't quite working, then let that play out and listen to what's going on. I'm not saying someone should say, hey, I want to break up with you, or hey, I have this issue, do you think maybe we should break up? And you should immediately go, hell yeah, exactly. But just kind of call everything into consideration, and if it's really just not working and you can't see it working and things are a bit stagnant, maybe look at that and say, maybe this is for the best, or maybe we could try this solution. If that doesn't work, then the only one left is to break up, so maybe that is for the best. Just don't force people into what they don't want to do. You can't force someone into loving you or staying with you. As much as, some people would love to be able to have that forced and have things stay the way they are, it's not realistic all the time. Also, in the situation that the person you're with, whether you've broken up with them or they've broken up with you, if they show you their true colours, if they show you that they're a bad person or that they aren't fit for a healthy relationship or that they can't treat you the way you want to be treated, then see that and listen. Don't dismiss little things as, oh, it's just this this quirk or this kind of thing that we don't really mesh on. If it is not up to your standard of how you want to be treated and how you want your relationship to go, there is no reason to force it with someone who is not loving you right. There is no reason to stay with someone who is not, putting in the correct effort. Things cannot always be 50-50 in a relationship. People have bad days, but bad days should not make up an entire bad relationship, because you can be there for each other equally. If you feel like maybe it's always that your partner is having bad days, which means they're not treating you right, obviously it's very hard to see your partner go through something bad. But if it is then causing issues in your relationship that you maybe can't ignore or that aren't getting fixed, then again, sometimes a breakup is the best thing. A breakup does not always have to be sad. It doesn't have to be that you hate your partner or that, breakups are not black and white. As I said at the beginning, a lot of breakups are so very different and happen for a lot of different reasons. So you can feel like maybe things could work or feel like you do love each other, but it's a bit, so a breakup is not always out of hate, and sometimes it's out of necessity or practicality or to give each other time and space. Different things work for a lot of different people because everyone is so different. So if, as unfortunate as it is, a breakup is the best thing, then don't continue to do the worst thing. Let them go. If you've broken up, don't stalk them. Don't look at what they're doing. Don't invest your time into someone who could not invest their time into you. Don't look at their pictures and upset yourself. Don't let them kind of stay there. If you feel like the best thing is that you don't see their face anymore, then unfollow them on everything. If blocking feels like too big of a step because you're thinking in your head, or maybe one day we could be friends, or maybe one day we could sort things out, you don't have to get rid of them completely, but just do what is best for you in that moment. So unfollow them. You don't have to see their face, but things are still kind of open for communication if that's how you want it to be. But it just means that in that exact moment, you've done the best thing for you, which is kind of cutting out any reminder of them for the time being. Off the back of that, understand when going no contact is the best thing. I know that you go on TikTok and everyone is like, you've just broken up with your boyfriend, okay, go no contact, go no contact, go no contact. Don't talk to them anymore, don't contact them anymore, don't look at them anymore, block them on everything, delete their number, blah, 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 blah. I was kind of skeptical of that. At the start, I really still wanted to be in contact with my partner. I was like, I can't do it. I can't just go no contact. That's crazy. We've been in each other's lives for every day for the past however long we've been together. I can't just immediately cut them out. But now I do admit that no contact was the best thing, but I had to kind of see that for myself. Which is why I say you need to understand when no contact is the best thing, not you need to understand that it is the best thing, because it might not work for some people. But for me, I kept saying to everyone around me, I want to stay in contact until I can understand that it's not working anymore, and I can see that it's not, helping me, and I can see that it's not helping me heal, and it's not moving things along like it should be. Because if it's keeping you in that kind of situation and in that stagnant position where you're sad because you've broken up, but you can't start to heal and start to repair yourself because you're almost still in that relationship mindset, because you're still talking to that person every single day, or you're still seeing their face on your phone every single day, or whatever, then maybe no contact might help. So you could say, if you're still in contact, you could say, I just think maybe we should try it for a week or something, or we could try it for however long. I think it can be really scary to be in a close relationship with someone and then immediately feel like you're never going to talk to them ever again. So you should be able to then communicate that maybe you want to try it out. I want to try not talking to each other as much, or I want to try not talking at all for however long, or whatever is best for you, and then see how it goes. And if you think it's better, then just carry on with it. If you're broken up, as harsh as it sounds and as harsh a reality as it is, if you're broken up, neither of you owe each other anything. Obviously, if you've wronged them or they've wronged you, or one of you has hurt the other person, the one doing the hurting does kind of owe, obviously, an apology and to make it up and to be honest and be right. But if you're broken up, there is not much healing the other person can do apart from let you make your own decisions and set your own boundaries and heal yourself. Just off of the back of that, this isn't one of my main points, but just off the back of that thing of there's not much the other person can do, I think it's a very hard lesson to know that you will not have all the answers about something, you know, if it is the case that something went wrong in your relationship or that one of you hurt the other. You will never know exactly what the other person was thinking and feeling the entire way through your relationship. You will never know every single move they made when you were together. So if there are things that you're dwelling on, it's really hard, and it's like, it seems silly to say, but don't dwell on it, because it is very hard. It's much easier said than done. But unfortunately, even if you grill your ex-partner and you say you have a million questions and you ask all of them and they answer all of them, there is probably still a part of you that will go, yeah, but is that true? Because I just have all these questions and I'm overthinking everything and blah, 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 blah. So, like, you will never know, even if they answer every single question. There's always still going to be that part that says, yeah, but are they lying? Or, yeah, but is this the whole truth? Or, but... And then you'll get more questions and you'll go, yeah, but when did that happen? And did that happen again? And what, like... There is never, ever gonna be a perfect solution, because the perfect solution would be that everything worked out and you guys were still together. So, unfortunately, if you're breaking up, the perfect solution is to give yourself peace and to let yourself move forward in whatever way is healthiest and best for you, but to move forward. So... this isn't really one that I learn't, because I'm not a very impulsive person. I don't really like do a lot of things publicly. I wouldn't like publicly shame anyone. I just feel like that's not my thing. But I think it's a very big thing where it's like, I was very upset, so a lot of the time I wanted to act out of that upset. I knew I shouldn't and I never did, but it's very easy to want to do that. So don't act out of impulse, and don't act out of like anger or upset or whatever strong emotions you're feeling, because you will be feeling strong emotions. Don't act on that and act impulsively and kind of make snap decisions, because there's no point. If you kind of, again, bring everything down and call everything into consideration, and there's something that you wanted to do as a snap decision and 3 days later you still want to do it, maybe you can, you know? Things on snap decisions aren't always like bad decisions. It's just the fact that when you are going through a breakup, this sounds dramatic, but I've seen a lot of people say it does feel like a grief, because you have someone in your life every single day and then suddenly they're gone. And it does feel heavy and it feels intense and it's very sad, but a lot of that time, that strong emotion might make you do things or make you want to do things that you wouldn't usually do in your like rational self. So try your best to be that rational self and to kind of keep all that everything down a bit, and don't try and let things like fly off the handle. Feel your emotions, don't suppress your emotions, but just, you know, if you're going to text someone, step away from your phone and feel the emotions away from your phone, that kind of thing. And then if afterwards, again 3 days later, you've thought about it and you've thought about it in your rational self and you've discussed it with people and you still want to text someone, you can. There are no rules to a breakup. There are obviously things that are better and things that are worse. Again, those better and worse things differ from person to person and from situation to situation. So I can't tell you what to do. You know? Yeah. Once they are fully gone, if you go no contact or if you're less contact, minimal contact, whatever the situation, but once you're broken up, don't dwell on things. Focus on the people around you who are giving you support, I am very, very lucky and very proud to say that I had a very good support system around me when my breakup happened. It was very unexpected and very sudden and very sad. And I'm just so glad that I had the right people around me. I had my housemates and my family and my friends, and everyone was so great. Like, everyone kind of, I couldn't have asked for a better system and for better support. And that is the main thing, is lean on those people. That's what they're there for. Lean on those people and talk to them. And if you have to, if you have questions for your ex, or if you have things that you want to say, find an outlet for it, because you cannot keep relying on your ex-partner because you're broken up. Again, like I said, as sad as it is, they don't owe you anything anymore, the same way you don't owe them anything anymore. So they cannot be the person to comfort you if you're sad about the breakup. They might be willing to do it, and you might want them to do it, but that's only going to hinder your healing and moving on process. Take things day by day. It's a very strange process. This was my first breakup, and I had no idea how to handle it. I couldn't say, oh, well, I've done this before, and last time it took me 2 weeks to get over it and I was chill. I wouldn't know that. It didn't take me 2 weeks to get over it, So just, you have to take things as they come and take things day by day, and just understand that even if you've been through a breakup before, again, relationships are different for everyone, people are different. Even if you've been through a breakup before, last time you might have gotten over it in 2 days and you might not have cared, and this time you might really, really care, and it might take you a long time to start working through things. And I think that's what needs to be understood, is that no one can tell you the right formula to get you over someone overnight. That would be really nice, but no one can. And you can't either. You can't understand. You can't wake up and go, well, I know exactly what I need to do today so that I feel fine. So you just kind of need to wake up each day and just focus on trying to pour all of your energy and attention and focus and that precious, precious love into yourself and into taking care of yourself in a very vulnerable, like, kind of uncertain time. I found myself very uncertain about kind of everything after my breakup. I felt like, because it's like, it's someone that you feel like you're gonna have with you for the rest of your life, you'd like to think. So then when that person is gone suddenly, it's like your entire future is like off balance. Obviously, again, a relationship is not your whole future, and a relationship does not define you, but a relationship is like that part of what you see moving forward. So then when that's gone, it just sends things a little bit out of whack. So you can be hard on yourself about how long it takes you. You can't be hard on yourself about how you cope. Again, just try so hard to do things in a healthy way, in a kind of rational way, and just try and be as kind to yourself as possible. Give yourself the kindness that you need, and don't be hard on yourself. Again, if you've wronged someone in your relationship, I can't speak from experience, but I imagine that if you've wronged your ex, you would be left with a lot of like mixed feelings and a lot of mixed emotions and probably a lot of things that you want to say. But I think the important thing is to kind of let that person go and let them do what they need to make themselves feel better. Because it's like the phrase "you've done enough" again seems very harsh, but I think especially with a relationship, it kind of rings true, where a person is in your life to teach you lessons, and a person is in your life to either stay there or not stay there, or whatever the plan is. A person is in your life for a reason, and if that reason is someone is there to teach you a lesson, if they wrong you, they teach you a lesson, it really sucks. Like, it really, really sucks, but they have taught you that lesson. So now you just want to step away, and you're like, okay, I'll take that lesson with me, turn that into a positive maybe, but I still need the time to recover from that lesson. So if you're the person who's been doing the teaching, let that person recover. and just leave them be, I think, is kind of the best thing. Again, it differs, people are different, that might not be how you want to handle it. I can't tell you what to do, but just speaking from my own experience, just leave them be. So my last point is, don't try, I know I kind of already said this, but don't try and force yourself to heal. Don't think, oh, like, I just want to be over this person, so now I feel fine. You have to feel your feelings and you have to understand your feelings to be able to kind of move through them. And it sucks because, especially if you got broken up with or if you were wronged or whatever, it's like, well, why should I have to do all this? You know, I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't ask for this. Like, so it does suck, but just like I said, you have to kind of take it and learn from it and understand it. And you'll never understand it fully. No one will ever understand anyone else's actions fully because you're not that person. But just trying your best to kind of sit with things where you can and understand some things where you can. Again, you might not understand why someone did something and it might not be right. Like, understanding does not mean like that what they did was okay. If they did something bad, understanding it does not mean it was okay. And especially if it's a bad thing, you're never going to understand it, like I said. But more understanding what it teaches you and understanding where you're left now, and understanding that maybe next time in a relationship, you now know what behaviour you won't accept, or you now know what behaviour isn't okay. Understanding that side of it, not understanding exactly what they did, because again, you never will. So I think that is the main thing, is just letting yourself heal and letting yourself move through things as you should move through things, and just being soft, and don't push yourself too hard, and don't give yourself a hard time for no reason when you're already going through a hard time, a vulnerable time, like a very uncertain period. So yeah, that's everything. Again, you will be okay. Things will be okay. Don't ask me how I know, I just do. I just have the knowledge. Everything will work out. Everything works out for everyone. That's just the way things go. I don't make the rules. Okay. You are so loved and so deserving of everything you have and more. I love you so much.